Good evening. Let's call this meeting to order. Ms. Schultz,
Here.
Dr. Kirk,
Here.
Dr. Daniel,
Here.
Ms. Grant,
Here.
and the chair's here. Okay, let's have a moment of silence. Okay, let's do our flag salute, and let me see who I get to call today. Coach Dunn, would you like to come up and lead us in pledge?
He's like, what?
He's already got his hat off, I mean, as well.
He wasn't paying attention.
I was
Had Lori do it for her last meeting.
Oh, I should have.
And up here, come on up.
I don't remember the stand pledge or
I
anything before.
pledge allegiance.
That part? I know that part.
Helping.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, item 2.
Goodness.
Move to approve items
Second.
2A through 2N.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, let's vote. Ms. Schultz,
Aye.
Dr. Daniel,
Aye.
Ms. Grant,
Aye.
Kirk,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. We do not have any recognitions tonight. So we will go straight to public participation. And we will follow these guidelines.
Okay, thank you. I've never seen those before, ever.
I read them to you last
I
time.
think you did. You did. They disappeared.
They're on the back one.
Okay. Lori Burris, 3200 Northwest 69th Street, Oklahoma City, 73116. Good evening, President Standridge, members of the board, Dr. Cobb, and all who are here and listening. After many years of service in Middale and several more as president of Middale Education Association, I stand before you tonight not to make demands or debate policy, but simply to say goodbye. I've spent my career advocating for the people who make public education work, teachers, support staff, and every human being who shows up every day for our students. And let me be very clear, it has been a privilege of a lifetime. I've sat at the table through challenging negotiations, late-night labor management sessions, and conversations that at times were more about power than about progress. But I've also seen glimpses of what's possible when collaboration is real, not just performative. When we treat each other as partners, not as problems to be managed. As I step away from this role, I do so with clarity. Clarity about what we've achieved, what still needs work, and where my energy is better spent moving forward. I've learned that not every battle is worth continuing, and not every conversation requires my seat at the table. So while I'm retiring from this position, tomorrow's my very last day, I'm not retiring my voice or my values. I trust the next generation of educators, out here, and leaders will keep showing up, speaking up, and holding the line. And I hope this district will meet them with respect, transparency, and a willingness to listen, even when the conversation gets uncomfortable. To those who have worked in good faith, thank you. To those who've underestimated educators, you might want to rethink that. With that, I'm signing off. I wish you wisdom in your decisions and courage and humility in your leadership. You'll need it all. Thank you and peace out.
Lori, we appreciate your service to this district and our staff.
Ditto, 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 ditto.
One of your predecessors sitting behind you, Jamie McCoy. And you're the new one. Welcome aboard. Okay, we'll go right to the superintendent's report.
All right, here we are. It's summer, so it'll be short. The Middell Technology Center's Skills USA team took first place in the opening and closing ceremonies competition at the 2025 National Leadership and Skills Conference in Atlanta.
Good job. Good job.
Last week, as you may have heard, there were a couple of, I hate to use the word mandates because they actually, that's overstating what they are. They're memos more than anything else were thrown around, and I had the opportunity to go in to Channel 5 with Dr. Cecilia Robinson Wood, the superintendent from Millwood, and visit. We got to do a 5-minute segment that was live on air, talking about the school lunch mandate. And then another reporter saw us and asked us to come in to a conference room and talk about the PragerU mandate. And so the first thing, I just want to go ahead and say this as long as it's up here. We already feed every student, and we do that because we are eligible for the community eligibility program. Last year is the first time that we could do that with more or less full reimbursement from the federal government. If that support from the federal government changed, we wouldn't be able to continue doing it. Our child nutrition budget is close to $7 million a year. And so to ask any district to say, oh, by the way, it's July 7th, carve that money out isn't realistic. Not every school district's the same. There are, when we say that, the other districts aren't built like us, we mean that in a lot of ways. But, for districts that have lower poverty levels, it really would have been a burden. And I think a lot of their leaders did a great job of explaining it. I'm trying to get more and more of my peers to resume being vocal, because I don't think I've ever stopped in the 10 years that I've been here. But it needs to be more than the Rick Cobb and Cecilia Robinson Wood show when it comes to speaking out against things that are not right and that are being misrepresented. And I was really proud of my peers last week, the ones who stepped up and did a great job of explaining, including a few people who are former Middell employees. And the second one, talking about using some citizenship test that hasn't even been created yet by PragerU, which also isn't a U. When we're trying everything we can to recruit people into the profession, and when the legislature passed a reciprocality law, 4, 5, 6 years ago? I feel like it's been since Brenda Stanley was in the Senate. If you're certified to teach in another state, we shouldn't have barriers for you coming in to Oklahoma to teach. So it was just, I just feel like the news needs to do a better job of inviting us in to speak to issues about education, and we need to be better about saying yes, and that's the royal we, that's not the Middell we, because I think that we speak out. I think that we stand up for our community and we stand up for our profession probably as well as anybody in the state, if not better. So I just wanted to throw that slide in there, not because I think those are good pictures of me, they're really not, but Cecilia looks fantastic. Dr. Robinson Woods does. We had our first of several, is that right? Was it the first one? Fill the Bus School Supply Drive last Friday at Sam's, and I know we have more coming up. I just don't have the dates committed to memory.
Great.
But it's always good to see the community getting out and giving so that we have school supplies. We also had last week a first responder partnership meeting, because it's the first one, to discuss our safety plans and protocols. And so we had fire, emergency management, EMS, police there as well. And it was just a really good collaboration and conversation about all of the different ways that we try to be collectively prepared, and knowing that if a big crisis were to happen, that we would have a lot of mutual support throughout Middell. Members of the Middell team volunteered at the Tinker Air Show supporting Team Tinker. That was held a few weeks ago.
So cool.
Congratulations to Del City High School for receiving the Jostens Renaissance School of Distinction Award Platinum Tier for the second year in a row. Good job.
Good job.
Thought I saw Gilland in here somewhere. Hey, there you are. You're hiding. Middell school counselors had the opportunity to attend the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education's Summer Institute for student preparedness and for college readiness. And that was really awesome. Mendel School counselors, administrators, and teachers also had the opportunity to attend the K-20 Center Gear Up Counselor Academy. So we're doing a lot to get more professional development, training getting our high school students ready, all of our students ready for college and beyond. Several Mendel leaders took the stage at COSA and presented over different topics. And it was nice having a couple of board members there. I don't think I'd ever had seen our board members at the COSA conference before. And I think some of us are reprising those presentations for the OSSBA conference coming up in September.
It was nice to see all of our people leading other people.
Yeah.
And the room's full at our presentations.
Well, Stacy and I, our room wasn't quite full, but they
It
gave
was
us a bad
full.
time slot.
It's a good
No, it
sign.
wasn't.
A good
That's
sign.
not true. It was full.
But our session was about why we need to say yes when the media comes calling. And it's a session that superintendents need to hear, and it's a session that your peers need to hear. We need school boards that are actually wanting their superintendents, their leadership responding in a respectful way. But again, there's no downside to advocating for your community and for the profession. Not our community, they appreciate it. And sometimes I get phone calls from people I would not expect to get phone calls from saying they appreciate it. Also at COSA, Megan Bryant, who received the Legacy Leader Award in Counseling and Mental Health, and Heather Morris, who was honored with the Legacy Leader Award for McKinney-Vento Homeless Liaison Services. So it was really neat. At our June 30th board meeting, we passed our cell phone policy to meet the requirements of state law, and we've put together a graphic, just a one-pager to try to explain it, put that out in social media, and all the positives, all the comments have been just nothing but positive. I will say this, we're doing it. So let's hope that it's successful. Let's hope that it brings good outcomes. Let's hope that it is a good thing. And is it going to have some bumps at the first of the school year? Sure. But I'm excited to try it and see if it makes a difference. And if it doesn't, we'll use that data to make informed decisions later on. But I think it's a good thing. I think it can be a good thing, and I'm excited to see. We have several upcoming events to support families with enrollment. Tomorrow night, there is an evening enrollment night at Carl Albert High School. And then throughout the week, you can see other events that are coming up, including our Summer Sunrise enrollment from 9 to 12 at the LSC on Saturday.
And I would say the new enrollment portal, excellent.
Good.
Have you been
Actually
on there?
works out. Yeah, we had to register our two
Yeah,
kiddos.
it's-
All right.
And in the past, we've stood in line, and in the past, we've had
Excellent.
to put information in for all of the kids, but now it's so intuitive, you
Easy.
just transfer the next
That's
kid.
great.
We're
Excellent.
trying to get
I
better
want a
about it.
copy over for the next kid.
Excellent. Good job.
So we can either give
Good job.
Susanna all the credit for that, or say that Carrie set Susanna up for success. Either way, I'm
Both
happy
of
with
you guys, kudos.
So,
Love it.
I want to talk just a little bit about this. So everybody knows, you've seen a lot of coverage on this, and there's a lot online about it. I even posted an article on Facebook because I know that's where I get my news. But it's an article from Ed Week, and you can look up the name of any school district in the country and see how much money they stand to lose because of the federal funding freeze right now. Now, Title I has gone to the states. We don't have our allocation, but Title I has gone to the states. We stand to lose over $1 million if that funding freeze is not released, if those funds are not released. And so just looking at some of the other information that districts have put out, I had kind of a consultation with Stacy, with Jacqueline, with Lacey about the best way to try to explain what this would look like for us if that money is not released to the states. It's been allocated by Congress, but the U.S. Department of Education has not released this to the states. And Title II is close to $1 million, and that is training. It's several of our instructional facilitators, their positions. It's the work that they do for new teacher training. It's the mentoring program, and so much more that helps us prepare our teachers. And when you think about the teacher shortage and the number of emergency certified people we have and the number of adjunct people we have, the people in this district who are responsible for adult learning are hugely critical. And so it's not just about their jobs. That's not the end goal. It's the impact that their work has on the teachers who are working with students and trying to make sure that that is protected. Title III, we have about 700, I think Chris Collier told me today, about 700 students who are classified as English learners. And we get about $57,000 for them, and we get a little bit from the state as well. We have 11 positions dedicated to working with our English learners. So you can see we don't get anywhere close to the amount of money that it actually takes to work with our English learners. But that's basically, that's one position right there that funds. So we've anticipated that something funny would happen, not funny, haha, with federal funds this year. And I feel like we've built a safety net into this year's budget. Jacqueline did a really good job planning for that. But I think it's important to have this conversation. I think it's important in a couple of weeks when we're doing new teacher training and we are posting about it on social media to mention that, you know, the funding source of that training, that is something that we typically pay for with Title II, funds that are currently being impounded by the U.S. Department of Education. And I think it's important that we tell our story about how these funds impact students. And so I wanted to put this in the superintendent report because it is it is possibly $1 million impact to the budget. And I do think it's important. You know, I like having the recognitions in the superintendent update, but sometimes the update needs to have some serious content as well. And I think this is pretty serious. So that's all I have.
Okay, we'll go next to the bond update.
President Standridge, members of the board, and Dr. Cobb. We bring you tonight 3 more projects that we just wanted to show you the schematics of where we're at. So I would like to invite MA Plus, Jordan Hall, and Grant Gallagher. They are both architects for these projects, and they'll tell you what that's looking like.
Thank you, President Standridge, the board, and Dr. Cobb for having us today. My name is Jordan Hall. I'm the architect on Midwest City and Carl Albert Multipurpose Facilities. So I'm going to get started with Midwest City. So this is our site plan right now. The new multipurpose facility, which is right around 49,000 square feet, just under, is sitting right there on that corner, if y'all can see. It's right as you enter coming into the school. So one of the things on this one is a monument sign that kind of denotes that it is the entry to the school, and we'll see that here in the rendering in a moment. It also has some additional parking stalls that will support that building and the coaches that are housed out of it. So this is the floor plan for Midwest City. As you can see, the majority of the square footage is going to that indoor field. We also have the coaches' offices, locker rooms, some athletic accessory spaces, restrooms, and then the general storage and utility spaces that are needed for this building. And that's pretty much what encompasses this building. The indoor field itself is somewhat of a transformer with nets and dividers that will drop down.
Right.
What is the size of the indoor field? Is it 80? What is the size of the indoor field?
Of the field,
So
60.
the size of the field,
The field, yes.
it's a 60-yard
Okay.
field.
Okay, 60 yards.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, can you go back to the previous slide? Okay, so it was decided, at one point we were
It's
talking
80.
about putting it over the current practice field. The decision to move it out is just wanted to preserve that, or?
Yes,
what was
so
the-
this allows them to flow in and out, so they can have multiple practices going inside and outside at the same time. So
Okay.
on the floor plan here, on the bottom side of that,
Mm-hmm.
that's what aligns with that outdoor field. So you see those 3 overhead doors.
Okay, so they can pull the bay doors up and they can
Yeah.
go in and out.
Correct.
There's a certain school in Stillwater that has that capability too, which is a good model. OSU, right?
Oh,
Indoor, outdoor.
I think I've heard of it.
But you-
I thought they were going corn out there.
Great model.
that's an- you-
And then also for the indoor practice facility, so where do you enter the building on this slide?
I mean,
If
In the
here.
gray.
Am I able to
Right.
point on this?
In the
There's
gray at the bottom?
I think there's a pointer.
That's not it. There we go. Okay. Right there, on
It's
that
the
bottom
gray.
left,
The gray
will be where you enter at.
Okay.
And then, so this is the front
And then
reception area, since it is a standalone building. And that's so, and then you'll come right in, and then the rest of these all feed off of the field itself.
Okay.
You're gonna stay- go right into
You have
the
locker
offices.
rooms, and
Yes,
is,
sir.
the locker rooms are male and female locker rooms? Or
The
how's it?
locker rooms are in yellow right there. These are primarily serving football. On these two campuses, they have ample for the other sports.
Okay.
And so we have shower space in the restrooms, general restrooms for the facility, if it's needed for anyone else.
Do these have a place for the trainers?
Yes, the purple right there in the center, that's the
see the
training
purple.
room, and that's the trainer's office.
That's a pretty big trainer's room.
It is, it's got two beds and a taping station.
It's good. It's good, good.
Because that, you really need that.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
critical.
Film room.
I mean, right there.
Here.
Okay.
I wonder if we can get, Andy, we can get grants like the Career Tech to upgrade our training facilities with special equipment, you know. Maybe something to look into. You know, it's like Field of Dreams, you build it and they will come, right? So once we get it up, we start, anyway.
The one thing, where are we looking to put the weight room here?
So we have it's not a designated weight room since that was not part of the original program. It's a flex space that will allow them to
I see
use
the
weights
flex.
in that
Yeah.
space.
And it's more-
It's not large enough to be a full-scale weight room, but it is large enough to support this indoor facility and the additional weights that they need to run during practices.
But it would be a good space for an auxiliary or a
Auxiliary space, yeah,
smaller.
we can have a screen in there as well, so they can use it for, if they're having, team breakouts and for during practice.
You know, because all these we've researched, they all have a weight room. I can't imagine not having a space for a weight room on any of them.
So did we
And
just
this
run
would-
out of space, Andy, to get a weight room facility area, or? No? So what was the
Because the
decision behind
original-
not putting a weight room in that, this area? Was it just space or cost or?
We actually carved out the square footage to add a weight room into the
Initially, it
program.
was not,
So we added that in
Okay.
since it wasn't part of that original
yeah, it
program.
wasn't part of the original.
Yeah. So it will support 12 half racks, and so that allows them to do squats, presses, everything. It's not a large weight room.
Okay. Okay. Right, very nice.
But this would not negate your weight room inside your main field house, right?
Yeah, I know, but whenever you see these facilities, like you said,
I know,
look at
I
all
know.
the,
They have
have a
them.
weight
I know
room
you
built
want
in, the
everything.
kids can work out, go to.
I get it.
It will
I get
service more than just
Just-
football or
right.
basketball. Our
Yes.
smaller programs, our girls can now
Yeah.
go in and
Exactly.
utilize those, so.
But I'm saying that because of the size of it.
Right, the
That was my
smallerness
point. Yes, the
is
size.
good.
Yes.
To have two on
Yes.
campus would be
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Jermaine, yeah.
Yeah, this support is a small cross-training
Yeah.
weight room to really just support
To
that
enhance-
larger
to
area.
enhance.
Yeah. And act as a flex space.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the exterior renderings. So this is right as you're coming in
Very
to the
nice.
campus. So that would be, this sign is unique to Midwest City's project because of the location on the campus. And this is from that other view, so right as you're looking at the entry there.
And that's where you would enter.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's not it's indoor training facility.
I love
like
having
that.
the entry.
I like that.
Right.
Okay.
Before I move on, are there any other comments or questions on Midwest City? I'm going to move on to Carl Albert next.
No, it's pretty, looks nice.
It's
The
beautiful.
rendering does.
All right. So Carl Albert is very similar to Midwest City. Essentially the same floor plan. It is mirrored and it is rotated to fit their campus at site adapt. The overhead doors, since the question came up, that support this are here and here. We do still have doors on the side for airflow so that they can open those up when they're in practice. The additional parking right along there that will support this building. This and that drive are already a part of this project.
Yeah.
What is a part of this is just this section right
This
here.
is all yours.
And it's nice that we're able to kind of tack on,
Yeah, right.
keep that going.
That way in.
Yeah.
Never.
Same size, right, just under 49,000 square feet.
Now, is the difference, the 1,000 off, what is it because Carl Albert just doesn't need as much space, or how did we come up with the different space being smaller?
They're the same size. They're both
Is it the same size?
48, 9, 29.
I thought the first one was 49.
You did say 49.
He said just under
Just
49.
under 40,
Just
just
under.
under 49.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it's same.
So this is the same floor plan, it's just mirrored.
On the
Just
other
reverse
side.
the other way.
Yes.
Same.
Yeah, so that's your entrance right there, and then everything's the same. It's mirrored in two directions to fit this
What are you
campus.
projecting this one to be?
What was the question on that? I'm sorry.
What are you projecting?
Locker room.
Is that the locker
That's
room?
Yes, that's the main varsity locker room.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
again, no weight room.
This is
That's what I'm
that
saying.
room right there is that one. And you can see those are the racks in there. Dashed in. That's how many what would fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just dashed.
Bathrooms are in the bathroom, say like showers, stalls.
It depends on which space it's serving. So, for example, the varsity has 4 showers in it because it has a large number of people that will be in there at one time. The freshman has 2 showers in it, and then we have 1 shower in each of the general restrooms that probably won't get a whole lot of use, but we wanted to make sure they were provided.
And where's the training on this one, the training
That's
right there?
purple.
Yes.
Purple.
Now, do all of these have a place for like a washer and dryer?
Yeah, so the washer and dryer right here. This is an equipment storage room.
Yeah.
Which is where most of their
Everything
uniform
goes.
storage
Yeah.
will go. And then that washer and dryer are directly off of that so that they can, wash and store
critical.
as
I
needed.
know the indoor storage like that, the ones that we all researched and went and visited, some of them didn't have that, and they said that is the one
It's
thing they
huge.
wish they had put in,
Yes, yeah,
is so that equipment wasn't just laying out on the field.
yes, yeah. And these will have the pass-through lockers right there as well. And so that they can pass the uniforms through from the locker, washer dryer area to these players without there being any visibility between the
Okay,
spaces.
where do you have the AD's office here?
AD is right there.
The opposite. The
So
pink.
since he is the head coach, we also
here. See the
have a
small
support
pink?
office by the entrance down here, which is the athletic
here.
secretary will be
Right
housed
here.
out of that.
He's in there.
If at any point the head coach,
And
head football
different.
coach is not the AD and there's another AD, we have 2 offices that can support that.
Okay, so do you not have a place for like the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator?
Designated separate offices? Or
Yes.
no,
That's
not
right.
outside
No,
of the group
no,
office.
no. You wouldn't.
And is there not a place for like the coaches to assemble and like their conference room?
It's a pink.
The pink right in the
The pink
middle,
right
sorry,
there.
this
The pink
is, batteries died on me.
That's your joint office here with all of your coaches.
There we go.
Right there. That's where they meet.
It's right there.
Like down the field.
But there's not an offensive and a defensive area. They would all congregate in here.
And that's typically where they, yeah.
Okay.
where they go.
So the renderings for this one, this would be if you're standing right in that parking lot, just to the north of the gym there.
Let me ask you
Yes, ma'am.
something. And of course, the coloring, I know red, gray, I know those are CA colors, but in terms of light sensitivity,
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing how that red over course of time
Fades.
always fades.
Yes. So we have those as painted items right now, so it's not a metal or something that can't be corrected. So that's actually an EFIS, so it could be easily addressed,
Okay.
10, 15, 20 years down the line by your
Okay.
maintenance staff. That's something we considered with
Yeah,
the
that's
bright
huge,
colors.
isn't it?
Same thing with Midwest City, because
Yeah,
it's
the
a
same,
yellow.
the
Yellow's a
pink, it
light
just-
sensitive color.
Another-
over
It looks
10,
gorgeous,
15
and after a
years.
while,
I mean, I do think how you branded these 2 facilities is phenomenal, because I have visited some that just look like a barn out in the field.
I think they
And
look gorgeous.
so I like how people know when they're at these, they're walking into the home of Titans, the home of Bombers, it's just good. It's a good look for us.
I'm going to hand it over to Grant. He's going to talk about Del City. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. My name is Grant Gallagher. I'm the architect on the Del City High School Multipurpose and Fine Arts Facility. Getting into the floor plan, or the site plan first. As you can see, the existing high school is pretty tight packed in there. We had a large area to utilize in the northwest corner. So the multi-purpose facility, just over 48,000 square feet. We have a storm shelter, which is 8,500 square feet. And then the fine arts facility, which is 15,800 square feet. So the floor plan, it has a lot of the same elements as the other two schools, but programming was slightly different. The large red and pink area is the indoor multipurpose facility. And then the large outline dash blue area is the safe room, which will have a band room and an orchestra space in it with a second story mezzanine level storage over the offices that divide the two spaces. And then we have along the left-hand side of the floor plan, colored in purple and orange and green, those are support spaces for the fine arts department, uniform storage, pit storage, MEP spaces, a lounge, things like that. And then we're kind of abutting next to the existing field house on this project. So out to the lower part of the page, kind of in the middle of the multipurpose facility, we're creating a new lobby entry space for the basketball, which we're kind of impeding on with this new facility. So
So is that a part of the total square footage?
so I right off the top,
48,264.
just
So
for
that's
the-
everything in total?
That's if he'll go back, it's everything in the dark red.
Okay, go back there for a second, please, so I can. So the 48, the total square footage of Dell City High School encompasses of course, the practice room itself, the outline area for the orchestra,
Yes,
okay, and then the offices.
the offices and support spaces, and then also that additional connecting lobby and corridor down
Okay,
to
so
the
that
south.
connecting lobby is a part of that, sort of, there's a part of that 48,000.
Yeah.
So you're adding in this area here into Dell City's
As a part of that
overall
48.
square footage,
Correct.
Yeah, that's sort of what they have.
which is not really usable space, and this is my concern here. This area is much smaller, and I think we're doing what we can, but I really hope we can work on that to get more stuff in that area, because if you go back and you look at the other schools, you know,
It's
this
square
one is
footage.
much, you don't have the offices, you don't have the space, you know, and you don't have the ability to have the flex room. So, and I know we're working real hard on, you know, because of space, but I think it's important that we try to do about the same across the board there.
Absolutely. And-
Right.
and
Is
just-
there any way we can
If I could
put the
just
two
point
up there together? Is there any way we can put Dell City High School and Colorado or Midwest City to compare the two
Put them on the same
on
screen.
the same screen? Is there a way we can do that?
Well, we don't have the slides put together that way right now, so.
Okay, okay.
And if I could just clarify, so the fine arts practice, or the fine arts facility is 15,800
Okay.
additional to the 48,260. And the storm shelter is additional 8,500 to the
Okay.
48,000.
Right, that's not in that figure.
Not in the 48.
Well, I meant, you know, it's not, the athletic one is the 48.
Correct.
Which includes a long hallway and that entry that we don't really get any usable space.
That's it.
Yeah, and the
You
supporting
know.
roosters, yes.
Is it possible to
So
put any of that space,
Yeah, let's
that
flip
long
the other
space
way.
that she's
That's
referring
right.
to on that next page
Why do we
as
have
storage?
that?
Because there's storage, like that little bit of orange, just seems like if that's gonna be used
don't
as
see
a
how-
football,
I don't
like the
think it's
practice
usable.
facility and stuff.
So the,
is
let's see
that?
if I can do this. The little bit of orange right there
Uh-huh.
is a laundry room for the multipurpose, so they can do uniform washing and stuff like that, and also for the band.
See, there's no space for the trainer in there.
Currently, there is no training room, no.
Right,
So I was
And
just
there's
looking at the
only
general
an
store.
AD and
and a secretary.
a secretary, so no
Correct.
room for our coaches in this one.
Correct.
So the walkway there, is that just to connect the spaces
Yeah.
at the bottom there?
So we're going to have a large amount of people trying to exit the building during a basketball game.
Yeah.
We have to keep certain code distances, so that's part of the reason for that. Another reason is just the ability to construct another building directly next to it.
I
We have
get
to have
what
a
you're
little buffer
saying.
there, so
Yeah.
it all kind of starts to add up.
'Cause you're-
So it just can't be usable, period. It's-
I def-
Aside from walking, of course.
Sure. We need a certain amount of it for egress, but we can
Okay.
definitely look at different layouts to make the space more usable for
Yeah,
sure.
that
This
would
was
be-
definitely a start, so.
That would be-
So,
What's our timeline? What timeline are we looking at for this?
So I believe the plan right now is to go out to bid first of the year.
Okay.
Either January or February, I believe.
Okay.
And, so I guess my question would be, you know, thinking about size and comparing the 2 or 3 spaces, is it adequate for what they need in terms of a locker room with the number of students they have and players? Is that sufficient to hold the students? I mean, is it a usable space?
Yeah,
That's
that's a
more
good
of the question than,
That's a good question.
more concerned with that than the comparison,
Yeah.
but go ahead.
During our design meetings, from what we were told, they had the adequate spaces on other places nearby on campus, so that we wanted to use the space for these.
Community.
So how many people are on the football team? You have what? 50
60,
students,
65?
Can you fit the
65.
65 in the locker room or are they going to be on top of one another or?
I think the idea there was to use the existing locker rooms.
Yeah, the Manning Center's nearby.
Okay, so they were
There.
used,
That's
Right
still
there.
the main locker room space.
okay. And that's, and where's the Manning
It's right to
Center?
the, when you go
It's
to-
right next to the football field.
It's down here.
Oh, on the other side there. Okay.
You would walk down a little trail
It's right there.
and go through a little parking lot, and that's where the Manning Center is.
so prior to this, like I know my kids went to Carl Albert, so we had an addition to the back of our PAC center for band, and they got their new facility and orchestra, got a new room. Are we playing catch up with this area in blue at Del City? Like I thought we.
So
had
right
already-
now, all of Carl Albert's performing arts programs are co-located with the Performing Arts Center, and that was part of that addition. At Midwest City, the construction that's happening right now is to be able to do the same thing over here, and this Fine Arts Edition is going to be able to give us the opportunity to do the same thing at Del City, including the storm shelter as well.
So is this going to be connected to the PAC center at Del City?
Yeah, it's all,
Yes.
when we
Right on
get
the
to the
other
last
side.
couple of slides, you get a better
Okay.
visual from the street.
I'm-
That right
Okay,
there is the pack right there.
okay, that's okay. And it's different orientation on this slide versus the previous
The other
slide, so I'm trying to adjust that.
Sorry, we
Okay.
just fitted
No,
it on
you're
the
fine.
page, yeah.
Yeah, got
And
it.
all this is predicated on the fact that we couldn't build this in the back where the stadium was because
Right.
of drainage
Floodplain.
issues and floodplain.
Huge flood issues.
So we had to find an alternative, which was the front
Mhm.
parking lot, get rid of that space. So now we're landlocked, I guess.
And there's
So
no
we
way you can
have to
build
make-
up.
Two-story.
Two-story, can't build up.
We're really pushing the height requirements that the city has right now, although we're working with the city to let them know what we're doing and clearing that. But
Okay.
I don't think going up a second story is an option.
Okay, it's not an option. Okay.
So even just in the office space, training room, going up a second level, just in that space to,
There's no training room.
so I mean.
There is not a training room here.
Well,
There's
mean-
not a training room, there's
Well,
not.
I'm saying where the
a-
locker room is, could you
Locker.
go a second level for offices and then you free up?
At that point, you have to add an elevator, and you're adding hundreds of thousands more in cost
Okay, so you have to have an elevator.
if you have a second floor.
What's the budget?
Yeah, this space here is the large space.
But we
have to
knew
worry
Del
about height.
City might cost more money.
Yeah, because it'd be landlocked. So.
So yeah, we're constrained by space, right? And
Well, do we,
want to make sure we get the right function.
could
And-
we
and-
go with a different configuration and absorb the cost of an elevator? I mean, I think I think it's prudent that we at least evaluate that because, I mean, I'm just gonna tell you, as a student athlete and college athlete myself, having a training room is key, close to where
Huge.
you're at. It's
Huge, huge.
I mean, they.
Got to have that.
It needs a training room.
I mean, I don't know how,
We can get around
I
it.
mean,
yeah, I don't know how
have
the
our
coaches.
coaches been involved with you guys
Yes,
as far as input?
yes, they have.
So this right here,
And administration, too.
yeah, I
You know,
mean,
the coaches and
the-
administration, you know.
and then
I just think they want a weight room.
This
But
doesn't
that,
open out
that's here nor
onto
there.
the practice field.
Definitely continue to take suggestions and.
You know, I just,
I
I
just.
think once we get the square footage figured out, the coaches then can come in and tell us what they want in that area, once that's figured out. Because I mean, these are all great starts, great starts. They're beautiful.
But now, the other schools don't have the orchestra area embedded in theirs at all.
Right. Right.
See, and that, because that's a space,
yeah.
that's your issue. Yeah,
See, it really hurts
should be-
that part of ours has to have the hallway. You know, I mean,
And the other schools did not have an orchestra area embedded in that. The band and all.
but that's not
embedded.
configured in our square footage.
next
That's a
next.
separate,
Yeah, that's a separate entity.
that's a
yeah.
separate entity. And I mean, just like this, the safe room, that has to fit all of Dell City students. Every student has to be able to get in that room.
Can you go back to the overhead shot?
See, it's your fine arts here. Then you have your storm shelter.
Oh, I see.
see it now.
PAC.
It's just.
I just don't
Because I was
like
like, I see it now.
that. I would just do something, yeah.
I'm kidding.
I just wish we could do something else for Dell City High School.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I
Are
wish
existing
we could do
locker
something else.
rooms in the basketball stadium? In the basement of the basketball stadium?
I believe there are some there for basketball, and then
Basketball's there,
We have a
track
locker
is
room.
there.
Yeah, that's it.
Weight room
Everything's
not
in
in
there.
there.
No, the weight
That's
room's in the
field house.
Manning, and that's where our
That's
football
the field.
Yeah, the
boys are
Manning-
our
Manning
house.
Center
Everything is.
is just like straight back, right there where the green dot is.
It's a
Yeah.
That's where the
floodplain, you
weight
can't do
room
that.
is.
That's where the weight room,
And currently, we have a lot of auxiliary locker rooms and training facilities in the
Inside.
field house, which
Yeah.
is connected to the
That's everything.
multipurpose facility.
Everything's
Okay.
in it.
I mean, you can, once the AD and the secretary leave out of their space, that does open up a little bit of space for a smaller program to have a locker room down in the dungeon is what I would call it underneath. But, I mean, so there are workable things.
What's the,
But can we,
what shape are we in terms of the locker room and things in the basketball stadium?
The field house?
Yeah, the
The
field
field
house. I
house.
mean, is there room for us to kind of renovate that to support this?
Yeah.
You know, because if
Well,
it's
there-
not usable today, then.
Well, there
it's
are
like, oh,
some
we
locker
got a
rooms that are
room
very
in the
large.
stadium, but is it usable? You call it a
Yeah.
dungeon, right?
Well, it's just because you go down
go down
underneath, and
underneath
that was
it.
where we always went for tornadoes and things like that, because it's underneath. I mean, not that, but there are big locker rooms down there
that we could utilize?
that they do utilize.
Okay.
But maybe some of them could be divided for smaller programs. I mean, we have a lot of basketball boys, we have a lot of football boys, so, I mean, you can't really cut there, I would think.
We have a lot of basketball girls too, it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
And the girls are on the other side.
Okay.
They, and,
Yeah, I'm just thinking about, alternatives. Is there other ways to support this facility that's really in close proximity to the basketball stadium? Is there some usable space
Right.
that we could reconfigure or that we can repurpose to sort of serve the needs of the things that we don't have space for here? It's just opening up, so you kind of see what our desire is and what we're concerned about. Maybe we can have some options to see what we can do.
absolutely, we're happy to do that.
Thank you, thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
So, yeah, we appreciate the work, we appreciate
Yes.
working with everyone,
Everything's
but we're just trying to give you
beautiful.
another perspective on kind of, because we get one shot.
that's it.
We
Right,
get one shot. We do this once and
that's right, that's
there's,
right.
there's
We
no
just
going
wanna get
back,
it right.
We just want to get it right
'Cause
because
we don't
we'll
think we're gonna
always
be
be
able to-
saying, I wish I would have got.
We should have done that, I should have done that.
I would have thought
Or
about
why didn't you
that.
do that? Or,
Right.
you know, and we,
This is the time.
Yeah,
And I think
understand
also we
completely,
want
yeah.
to try to be as equitable as we can.
Just to kind of finish up on Dell City,
Oh, that's beautiful.
this is,
It is beautiful.
I mean, it's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
this is a
It's a
rendering of-
great job, a great
appreciate
job.
I love the fact
And
that.
Grant, so you, can I see the clicker real quick?
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, Dell City's red and black. The gray would represent.
Silver's color,
Did-
red and gray is color.
That would
What you did.
represent,
So Grant, so here we have the front coming out, it's kind of stepped forward. Is there any way to bring this wall forward and give us a few hundred more square feet that could be utilized for for programming offices,
Move that shelter
training,
up.
whatever. I'm just saying, so, I mean, you would be keeping the design of the shelter intact, but moving it, this direction, you'd be moving it west a little bit. That's one of the things that when we were looking through this in the conference room today, that when you go back to this slide here, there's a little bit of space up here that if you took the storm shelter and pulled it west a little bit, not all the way to make it flush with the front of the building, with the front of the practice facility, but like even if you brought it halfway, I think we're getting a few hundred more square feet there
Yeah.
that we might be able to then add onto this end. But I think the concern that this corridor space, we're counting it as square footage. It's not, and it's not really usable as training, weight space,
Yeah.
office or whatever.
It's a
I think that's
corridor.
legitimate, but I think that if we pulled the storm shelter a little bit farther to the west, we could actually gain some square footage that would be usable.
And it would,
And that would cost less than adding a second story that has an elevator.
And that would not impact parking at all either,
No, it
because you
would
have to
not.
allocate so many parking
So
spaces.
it's really when we had a very spirited brainstorming session this morning, I would say that was probably the best idea that the collective mind came up with. So I just kind of wanted to mention that to you
well,
while
and
you were
too,
here.
Rick, we didn't even think about this. When that does scoot up,
Mhm.
it will leave some space here too, maybe
It
for
gives
a
you-
training
yeah.
facility,
It
because
gives
that
an
whole
entire
thing will
area
move
there.
up.
I mean, if it adds 300, 400, 500 square feet, whatever that ends up adding,
Something.
we're gonna find some use for it,
Yeah.
and I agree with, I mean, yes, we have training facilities in the John Smith Field House, but having training beds in the multipurpose facility is going to be a lot more convenient for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, and if we could do that, then we could use that old training space for locker rooms, for a smaller program.
Sure.
But, I mean, this space here, do you know what
Can't see where-
what the square footage is for this space, Christie?
I don't think I'd know right offhand, but,
Versus what the other schools have?
not right offhand.
Okay,
but I could-
that's
I could
all
get you
right,
that.
that's all right. I know this is, a start. It's a great
I-
start.
I would recommend going along with Dr. Cobb's suggestion to go back and see what we can do with pulling that wall back to utilize that space there and then go from there. to at
think
least
that's a
add
great
training.
idea, yeah.
I think we should look at that.
Sure.
Okay, that we
Well, and
move
it
on.
might alleviate some coaches'
Yeah.
spaces too, there too, or
Right.
a meeting room, at least for the coaches to be able to,
Right.
Okay,
you know,
okay, dear.
And any other great options that you come up with?
Anything.
We see that
Anything.
too.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's beautiful.
That's
It's beautiful.
gorgeous.
And we
You guys
wanted to
have
stick
done
to
a-
what we had right
Yeah,
now
exactly.
because.
I know, I love it.
I love the eagle
Yeah.
wings, that's gorgeous.
I mean, it is beautiful.
Okay,
One thing I do say about this is at least it's street facing, so
That's
folks can see
right.
it. The other schools just happen to be in the back.
that's right. This
Might
is
see,
so
but-
important for the public. That is so true.
But I love that.
Okay,
Thank
you.
you.
thank you so
Thanks,
much,
Grant.
we appreciate it.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
See, guys, and that's the entrance right there. Okay, item 4, strategic plan update. Dr. Broyles.
President Standridge, members of the board, and Dr. Cobb, thank you. I would like to present my results from our strategic planning that we've done this year. Last summer, the district leaders and building leaders created the district's strategic plan facilitated by OSSBA. This document consisted of goals and objectives in several areas. I facilitate student performance, and so I have been meeting with the head principals each quarter to make sure that we are keeping up with the goals of the strategic plan, just so that it's not a document that's just sitting on the shelf, but it is a living document.
Excellent.
And we are following what our district has put in place. And so this past year, we used to gather data. It was our baseline data because we have, the strategic plan is good through 2029.
5 years,
So
yeah.
what you see, we didn't move quickly. We're moving slowly because we have until 2029 to meet the objectives of our strategic plan.
So of course, you see the goals of 1.1 Tier 1 instruction. That was one of our goals, and so those are the objectives that are listed under it. What our next steps are is that TNL developed a one-page Tier 1 PD tool for principals and teachers. It was passed around. If you look at it, it will tell you, it just gives teachers, especially for some of our teachers who are not traditionally trained, it allows them to see what an opening is supposed to look like, and then it shows you what the teacher's actions are and the student actions. It's what I do, what we do, and what you do as a student. And so we feel that this would, this PD tool will be useful for principals to go in, and it'll also be useful for teachers to understand what Tier 1 instruction is supposed to look like. And then if you flip it over, you will see that on the back, it gives you the district-provided instructional resources that we have in our district, because that is also one of our goals, is that on the next page, you'll see that we're asking them to, asking principals and instructional coaches to understand the district's curriculum. And so these are some resources that they can use. And so TNL, Lacey and TNL created this document, and it's going to be very useful and helpful for our principals and our teachers. The next, number 3 is that we are working with principals on how to break down data and use it. Again, Lacey's team gave a survey out to the principals in one of the principals meetings, and that was one of the results, was that they asked for more training on how to utilize data and make informed decisions. And so we will be working with them more this year on how to look at their data and how to use it to make informed decisions in their buildings. And then number 4 is that we are going to review the data with principals and staff at the October PD, and then at that PD, we will be creating expectations for our students. The next goal is 1.2, professional learning communities. Of course, you know, we are a PLC district, and you've had all the presentations over PLCs. And so what our next steps are is that we are going to continue with the late start, because that is one thing is that we put on there that we wanted to protect collaboration time. And so we are going to continue with the late start, but we are going to tweak it a little bit. Last year was our very first year to do the late start, and so of course, we've learned, we saw some things that needed to be tweaked, and so Ms. Gilkey is working with the building administrators, and so we plan to tweak that. And then we're also asking principals to limit requiring teachers to cover during their PLC times to try to help protect that time. Number 2 is that we're going to continue offering monthly PDs to the principals and instructional coaches to work with our staff. Again, Lacey's in the TNL team, they meet with our principals monthly, and we have our PLC expectations and PDs that we do with our principals, and so we're going to continue offering that to them. And then we are offering, we will start offering monthly meetings with our principals too, to help them break down the data so they can look at it.
Excellent.
Goal 1.3 is attendance awareness, because attendance is a huge thing. Again, we feel that students being present is the best way for them to learn, and so we created an attendance baseline this year, just looking at it. And so our next steps is that we're asking each site to reduce their chronic absenteeism by 5%. Remember, this is our plan through 2029, so we're going to start slow. We're going to try to get to 9%, because that is what the state average is, and so we want to be on par with the state in 2029. Number 2 is students that are considered to have had chronic attendance. They will be contacted at the beginning of the year and then monitored throughout the year, just so that parents understand what their attendance was last year, and stay on top of it for this year. Because research shows us that if you pull the attendance for the last 3 years, you will see that the students who had chronic absenteeism, they had it prior to last year.
Excellent. And would parents be involved with this at all?
I'm sorry?
Parents, in terms of trying to enhance the chronic absenteeism?
Yes, because as you see on number 4, we're going to ask that the sites for the attendance data, that it be shared with the staff, not only with parents, but also with the staff, so they know what the attendance, what the percentage was for the month, and then we're going to share it with with parents. We're going to ask principals to put those in their monthly newsletters that they send out to their parents, and also put it on social media. I skipped over number 3, but we're also going to be sharing on the site social media and the district social media the importance of why attendance is important and why students need to be present in school. And so we're going to flood that throughout the year, just to let our public know how important it is.
Good job.
Don't we have a staff person that monitors this, or that's their job to
That
kind of?
monitors attendance.
Yeah, the liaison, or,
Not every school. Those positions were put in place through their Title I plans, and so it's really kind of up to the sites of
On
if
how they
put-
use it.
Yes.
And are we getting a lot of traffic on our social media sites? So if you're publishing this, and is it getting?
Yes, we
is it
do.
getting we get,
I think,
you can just give me a.
Good and bad, yes.
So that's a good communication vehicle. That's what I was getting at.
Yes,
So-
yes, yes, sir.
okay, great. And then one question. I'm sorry.
Yes.
PD. Can you? What's PD again?
Professional development,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I got acronym soup from work and here, and
Yes,
and most of our staff really likes the late start at the
Mm-hmm.
high school, right?
yes, yes.
I also think that with the advent of adjunct instruction, more adjunct instructors, that would really ensure that they know how to implement your Tier 1.
Yes, that's
Instructional
why
strategies.
I am very appreciative of what Lacey and her team did, the TNL department. This was an excellent tool that they
Excellent.
created for teachers, and
Excellent.
they can place it in their hands on day one.
Excellent.
and this is your typical day. So when you say
Yes.
opening, that's
Yes, sir.
types of thing. Okay, so this describes how your day should break out.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Good job.
And then the last one is 2.1, to increase opportunities for college and career exploration. And so those are the objectives that we have listed under that in our strategic plan. Our next steps is that we're going to offer at least 2 district-led college and career exploration events per semester. We already have those kind of planned out with our college and career counselor, Bria Bowler, she took that position last year and she ran with it, and she's done a great job. And so we really have more, but we have 2 right now that are confirmed. And then we already have the class of 2026, which is our seniors this year. The senior conference is scheduled for October 1st, 2026, and you'll receive more information about that. And number 3 is that we want to provide a one-site-wide ACT prep opportunity for each semester at each high school. I know that Dell City High School did this last year and the year before, and they saw great results in their ACT scores. And number 4, we want to expand the Mid-Dell internship program. Last year, Ms. Bryant said that they probably had a 3% increase, but she said that data is screwed, a little skewed, sorry, because
I heard skewed.
I heard it's
I
skewed.
heard it, but I.
Let the record reflect.
It's a
use
little
that term
skewed
myself.
because each site did not do the same thing. They were using different tools. And so this year, Ms. Bryant's going to go in and make sure that everybody's using the same tool.
Good job.
And then Mid-Dell intern is what again?
Internship is where they do job shadowing, or
Okay, where students get to go and do job
Yes.
shadowing.
it's an hour out of their school day.
I love it. Good job.
Do you have any
Real
questions?
impressed. Good job.
When you talk about the college and career twice a semester, are we looking at not only college, but also like plumbers, HVAC, that sort of thing?
That's the career.
Trades.
That's the career.
That's career
Yes.
based.
Just making
Enters
sure.
career.
Yes, ma'am.
Good job.
And I will just tell you, the internship is awesome. My daughter landed a job from it, and even though she goes to school in Wichita, she comes back every summer to that same job. So it is key, and I highly recommend any parent listening, when that opportunity comes up, take advantage of the opportunity. It is so vital for your kids. Gets them out of the classroom, hands-on learning. I can't thank you guys enough for the internship. It's something I didn't have going to high school. So great job.
And if we identify those budding teachers in class.
That's right, that's
You'll
right.
be a great candidate for an
That's
internship,
right.
shadow, and then we can kind of groom them.
Yeah.
Bring back that teacher
With
cadet program.
Middale,
Yeah,
And Middale used to have that.
we had the teacher cadet
Teacher
program,
cadets.
huge.
And I believe Ms. Houston's working on that with the
Yeah.
You know,
sites.
that was a cool
That
program.
was
we had
excellent.
home grow teachers
I
here.
was one of those teachers, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, next we have the literacy update.
President Standridge, members of the board, and Dr. Cobb, thank you for having us this evening. My name is Melissa Dalton. I'm the instructional facilitator for Elementary English Language Arts and the Strong Readers Act, and I'll let my colleague introduce herself.
I'm Tracy Hunt. I'm Tracy Hunt, and I am the instructional facilitator for secondary English language arts and all of our libraries.
You may remember a year ago today, we introduced the Mid-Dell Literacy Plan to you all.
You did.
And we're pleased to be here this evening to update you on the progress that we have made for implementation.
So just a quick reminder that these are the beliefs that drive literacy instruction in Mid-Dell. And though they drive literacy instruction, we'll be quick to say that literacy should and does happen in all content areas. If you need a reminder about the literacy plan, it is linked on this slide deck at the bottom where it says Mid-Dell Literacy Plan.
All right, I would like to share some elementary celebrations with you all. So this year, we trained 30 pre-K teachers in letters training, which is a training that's based in the science of reading, which is just 5 decades worth of research about how kids learn to read. And so we trained all of our pre-K teachers in the district. Some of them were already trained, but we've gotten them all caught up now. Also, the State Department offered letters training. Teachers could sign up as in a cohort through the State Department, and 48 Mid-Dell educators voluntarily signed up to take 2 years worth of letters training. And I feel like that's a really big win for us because that means we've gotten the word out about the importance of teaching phonemic awareness and phonics correctly to our kiddos. So, also, according to our universal screener, which is STAR in elementary, the 3rd grade students in our district had the highest percentage of students making typical or better growth. So our
That's
3rd graders
huge.
that's
Yeah.
the 2nd year in a row that 3rd grade has been our highest group. We use Lexia in Mid-Dell as our Tier 2 intervention program. It's a computer-based intervention program. And we were seeing some trouble with kiddos overusing Lexia, just being on the program too much. And the problem with that is that it's not meant to give instruction. It's meant to go back and follow up when a kiddo has gaps in the instruction they've already gained in the classroom. And so our progress, our student progress, and the time kiddos were spending on Lexia did not align. So we turned it off at the beginning of this year. We went back and trained every site. And at the end of this school year, all of our growth and usage at every single elementary site were within 2 percentage points of one another.
That's excellent.
So our, when I
Excellent.
had my end of the year meeting with our Lexia rep, she was like, that's incredible that they aligned like that. A lot of districts aren't able to achieve that. So we are really proud of that.
Excellent, you should be. Excellent.
And then to talk about a few specifics, Pleasant Hill Elementary and Barnes Elementary stood out on our universal screener with 71.9% of students reaching expected growth or better at Pleasant Hill and 68.4% of students making typical growth or better at Barnes Elementary.
Good job.
So overall, our district percentage was 52.6, so those two really stood out above the rest. Our action steps moving forward, we're going to continue training our teachers in the science of reading. So our plan for this year, we did pre-K last year. Our plan for this year is kindergarten and 1st grade teachers. We're going to have a clear focus on new teachers. So we have a plan to make sure that our new teachers, that especially the ones that aren't traditionally trained, really get that curriculum training
Excellent.
that Dr. Broyles talked about in the strategic
That's what
plan.
concerned me, yeah.
And then we'll have a continued emphasis on small group instruction to differentiate and meet the needs of all of our students. And we're going to provide resources to teachers to make this easier for them. And then we're going to have a continued targeted support of elementary administrators and instructional coaches, also mentioned in the strategic plan, to be the instructional leaders of their building so that TNL can support them in that.
Okay, so some secondary updates. We have had an increased participation in writing project pedagogical training. This really enhances our Tier 1 practices across all classrooms and across the district. We're at about 35% of our secondary English language arts and literacy teachers being trained in this style of teaching. And I'm super excited about that because I believe it directly impacts this next celebration. We have achieved a significant reduction in the performance gap on the ACT writing
huge.
as compared to the state average. So that's something that's really needs to be celebrated here in Mid-Del. Several years ago, our district average ACT writing score was at 5.4 compared to the state average of 5.7. For the past 2 consecutive years, we've held steady at 5.6. So we are closing that gap and demonstrating sustained growth.
Excellent.
Because the movement on the scale is typically incremental, maintaining this progress over 2 years signals meaningful improvement and not just a one-time gain. So my goal this year is to meet or exceed the state average on the ACT writing. So yay for that. And then finally, another celebration is that our middle school students with foundational literacy gaps are making measurable progress in fluency and automaticity. This is something typically that we see them leaving elementary school with, but over the past several years, we've seen a need for this type of intervention in our middle schools. And I'll let the bottom part there in white with red writing, those are words from our students. I went and interviewed some 6th graders at one of our middle schools, and one of them said, I learned about how sounds go together and I'm a much better speller now. One said, I can read big words now. I can even read big words in my other classes because now I know how to break them down and figure them out.
Excellent.
And the third one brings tears to my eyes every time I read it. I'm no longer afraid for my friends to hear me read out loud.
Don't you remember that when you were that little, thinking, oh, God, don't call on me?
Yeah.
Do you think that this has anything to do with the fact that a lot of these 6th graders during COVID?
That's
So they
part
were
of it.
getting a lot
Yeah,
of
that has a lot
parental
to do with it, yeah.
teaching
I think that's
versus,
a piece of it. I also think that the things that Melissa is bringing to put in place in our elementary school is significantly closing that gap as well.
Okay.
So in our next steps, the third one is begin a strategic phase out of a large-scale reading intervention at the middle school level. We hope that we don't need it in the future. So what she's doing and putting in place in our elementary schools is making a huge difference. So we're hoping to see that we need less and less of this in our middle schools. But for right now, what we're doing is working and is really helping these kids to be able to read automatically and fluently. And when they can do that, then they have room in their brains to comprehend. So it's exciting to see this growth. Other next steps would be to continue to expand access to this high-quality professional learning. So this professional development that the TNL team is bringing to our instructional coaches and our teachers and our principals, we want to continue doing that. And then sustain and deepen Tier 2 and Tier 3 interventions for those who need it, but
Right.
not at the
That's what I was
wide-scale
Right.
level that we're doing so right now. So those are our secondary updates. What questions can we answer for you all?
I was going to answer with your middle school kiddos, where you mentioned that with foundational literacy gaps. This is identified primarily under your Tier 1, and then you move them to a Tier 2 or a Tier 3. How those kids, at this level, those kiddos, middle school kiddos, with those foundational gaps, they're identified while under Tier 1. Is that true?
So in their Tier 1 literacy class, so in our middle schools, we have ELA and we have
Right,
literacy.
gotcha,
In
gotcha,
the
I'm with
literacy
you.
classroom, they come in and they take a screener and a diagnostic.
Okay.
And then if they need that Tier 3, Tier
Then
2
you
and Tier
move them
3
on up to-
intervention, we have space and time for them to do that.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, ma'am.
No, thank you.
Good job.
Great
Thank
work.
you.
Good work.
Good job. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Up next, the dropout report.
I didn't get the report. Did you get it? It wasn't linked to my,
No, I think,
I have, it's not really,
usually we get it ahead of
A
time.
copy of it, you mean?
I think she's going to hand it out.
Usually we get it ahead. I like to analyze that.
oh, not take them down.
It's my,
Okay.
He can look off this one.
Thank you.
my same
Oh,
printout. This is mine.
Okay, good evening, President Sandridge, members of the board, and Dr. Cobb. This is our dropout report. The attached spreadsheets, this is the number of dropouts reported for secondary during the 2023-2024 school year, and then it's up through September 30th of 2024. And I think.
Now, do you know, were there any kiddos?
Now, I would
Yeah,
like
they-
to say, like, for high school, our numbers have dramatically increased over the last
Yeah, I
4 years.
yeah.
So that we are excited about. Middle school went up a little bit, which we're going to work on this year, but this is just that they are not reporting going to somewhere else.
I know. Are those who get the GED? Are those factored in here at all?
No,
After
those
they-
are not.
After they get the GED, we don't pull them in?
They have not a part of this report, no.
Okay.
But our goal is to start reaching out to at least some of our high school students who have not completed or finished, and then offer for them to complete in our virtual program. So hopefully that will clean up as much as possible.
Yeah, excellent. Because once they get the GED, they,
Once we take a hit on them for being a dropout and say, you call them and bring them back, do we get any kind of acknowledgement for bringing one back and finishing that?
Yes.
it alters that completely.
And we actually brought 2 back this year.
Okay.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
Any other questions?
So when we get a middle schooler that drops out, what does that really mean?
Really, it's just that they're not reporting that they went to another school
Yeah. that's
anywhere.
what I want.
So you don't have a record of them getting a transfer and getting records to the new school or anything?
Correct.
Okay, so they may not necessarily have dropped out of school and,
It could be a slight clerical error somewhere across the way
Okay.
that we don't know about, but I did see that middle school had gotten a little bit higher than normal, so
Yeah.
it's just something to definitely look into when we do the report this upcoming year.
okay.
When they move out of state.
But I do like that
That's what
high
I
school has
wondered.
gone
When
down
they move out of
tremendously.
state too,
Is
sometimes
there-
you don't track those records.
2021 was a rough year.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, item 5.
All right, so I have revisions to the calendar for the upcoming school year and the ensuing school year on the agenda. And I ask that you approve and we can discuss.
I just want to answer, I know we're going to do the late start Wednesday, and I know that's on the, that's not on the calendar. When we do the late start, is that on the calendar?
It's not on the calendar, but we talked about that when we did our board run-through this afternoon, and we're going to denote that on the calendar that we publish out for parents.
Good, excellent. Thank you, sir.
We're just taking the virtual days off of, the planned virtual days off. In 26, 27, we'll have to anyway, because the state is requiring it, Senate Bill 758, I think it was. But
It says we get 2, right?
Yeah.
if,
But you got to apply for them.
yeah, I mean, I have it pulled up on one of these tabs. I always have too many tabs. Schools can count up to 2 days of virtual instruction if the state superintendent has approved a virtual instruction plan submitted by the school board, and if the governor has declared an emergency. So how can we know before we declare a virtual day if the governor's going to declare an emergency?
Or if it snows overnight.
If there's a foot of snow on the ground, the governor's not going to declare an emergency. The governor shouldn't declare an emergency, but we're clearly not going to have in-person school that day. So the thought of having even a weather-related virtual day in the 26-27 school year is really going to be off the table. We can still have a virtual day for weather in the upcoming school year, but when we had planned virtual days this last school year, absences were incredibly high.
Yeah. Well, let something happen to someone's child.
So essentially no virtual days.
Let something happen.
Yeah.
Move to
And
approve.
for students to be in seats.
So I ask for your approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any other discussion? Okay, let's vote. Ms. Grant?
Aye.
Ms. Schultz?
Aye.
Dr. Kirk?
Aye.
Dr. Daniel?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Okay, item 6.
President Standridge, members of the board, and Dr. Cobb, I am coming to you to request approval of the following policies. As you see, C14, C15, and I-35 are being changed based on laws that were passed by the legislators this year. And then policy F5, this is just to improve our security in the district because also it is a law that we must notify our patrons that they are being recorded. And so Terry Tilley is going to start having signs placed everywhere so that our public knows that they are being recorded on our property because we are recording them. And it also defines when you can get a video and how you can see a video when we receive those requests from parents. Then you have the policy of I-26 and J-45. Those policies are just because, as Ms. Standridge has pointed out to me, if our policies are older than a kindergarten, we must revise them and look at them. And so these were two that came up that we noticed that we needed to add some things to them, like for the I-26, the healthy and fit, we needed to add, it was the bullying, we needed to add bullying into it, and then also we needed to take it off of, we had it listed in the wrong place, and so we needed to move it down to the other. And then, of course, policy J47 is a new policy that was recommended by OSSBA, and it is our graduation policy.
That's okay. I have mine. I have it in my handout. I have it in my handout.
Are we voting on each of these separately, or, because I have questions, comments?
What do you have? What are
Okay,
your questions?
You can vote on them collectively or separately.
Yeah.
so if we're
Which
gonna
ones
vote,
do
Which one
you
you pull
have?
out?
I need to pull out C15 and I-35.
So we can go ahead and
So from
vote
state.
on
14.
14, 5, 26, 35, no.
41, 41 and 47.
So if we have a motion to go ahead and do those?
I move to approve policies C14, F5, I-26, J41, and J47.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, let's vote. Dr. Kirk?
Aye.
Dr. Daniels?
Aye.
Ms. Grant?
Aye.
Ms. Schultz?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye.
Okay, so for discussion on C15, will you, Dr. Broyles, just kind of talk to us about why this is happening for, like, on page 1 where it says per state law, active military and provisional? Will you kind of define that for us, please?
Yes, it was passed that if you are a dependent of an active military personnel who lives on base, and that base is located in our district, that their dependent will be allowed to transfer to any school they want inside of our district, not just the one that is zoned for it. For example, right now for Tinker Air Force Base, it is zoned for Tinker Elementary, Midwest City Middle School, and Midwest City High School. As a dependent of an active military personnel, you will be allowed to attend any school in our district that you want, and you don't have to follow the state guidelines as far as capacity. We could not deny you based on capacity. As far as it's saying provisional, it's because if you continue to read, the law clearly states that you are being granted this in-district transfer, but you are still required to follow all of the rules that it's in the law, which pertains to discipline and attendance. And so if a student is granted an in-district transfer, that is a military dependent. but then they violate the attendance policy or the discipline policy, the building administrator has the right to pull their transfer.
Thank you. So members of the board, I would make a motion to, and also, approve C15 with some changes that I noticed. I like consistency from our policy to policy. So if you read the last page of C14, there are 2 paragraphs in there that talk about transfer requests being denied and appeal process. I would like for those 2 paragraphs from C14 to be mirrored on the policy of C15 so that it's consistent across both transfer policies. One is out of district, one is in district. And so that's my only change.
But I would also ask that, because we were just notified on Thursday afternoon, that an in-district transfer cannot appeal to the State Department of Education. And so we were under the impression that since it was now located inside of the transfer portal, that they had the same procedures that we have for our out-of-district transfers, but the State Department of Education informed us on Thursday after the agenda had been posted that in-district transfers do not have the right to appeal to the State Department of Ed because they are already students of the district, and they said that is a local decision. It's not the state's decision.
Makes sense.
So that's why the difference,
The language.
the language is different.
Yeah.
The language.
Yeah. Do I need to change my motion? You want me
Yes.
to clarify
Yeah.
that? Okay. So I would make a motion that we approve C15 with changes. The current proposed changes, we need to remove the State Department of Education appeal process because of what you just stated. It's not necessary. And then grab the 2 paragraphs from C14. First paragraph starts with if a transfer request is denied, ... use that whole paragraph. And then the one following that appeal process, use that language and just mirror that so that we're consistent across our policies.
Any discussion?
That's-
Made a motion to do that. It needs a second. I'm not going to do that yet until we come back, maybe bring it back with it all changed. I don't have what you have in front of you, so I want to
Oh,
see
you
it.
don't?
I'm
Well, first we
visual.
asked Dr. Bros if that is
Yeah.
amicable.
Yeah, that's something.
Yes.
The suggestion she made, does it make
Yes, sir,
sense?
it is.
So do you
So-
want to table
Can we just
it?
table it,
So
bring
can
it
we-
back?
We could.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can pass it with the contingency that it's subject.
Or, well, I think it'd be better to table it and just
To
pass it
table
with
it.
with the revisions that
Right.
Ms. Schultz is recommending.
That's
Yes.
fine. Motion to table C15.
Yeah, yeah, that needs to be tabled. Let us look at it all.
Can I second? Okay, let's vote. Dr. Daniel,
Aye.
Ms. Schultz,
Aye.
Ms. Grant. Aye. Dr. Kirk.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye.
And for the final policy on there, we may need to table this one too, but I just had a quick question about, this is due to Senate Bill 745, correct?
Yes.
I-35. So do these individuals have access to our schools and our school events? Like say I'm 26 years old and I come back and I'm like, hey, I want to get my high school diploma, and I come to this policy. Do they get a school ID? Do they go to prom? Do they, the individuals
No, they do.
that-
No, they do not. Their education is strictly, according to the law, is strictly virtual and online. That's it.
So would there be anything that we could say or add to this policy that would shore up that to make it clear to the reader of the policy that maybe they're not going to go to prom and not get a school ID and not go to like school assemblies?
Yes, ma'am. We could add or table.
Yeah,
You
I-
guys. We could add, underneath program requirements, we could add the following statement. Students who fall under the provisions of this policy shall not be permitted to participate in high school functions and activities designated for traditional high school students, including but not limited to prom, assemblies, graduation ceremonies,
Excellent.
and other school-sponsored events intended exclusively for the traditional student body.
Good job.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that.
I would vote
take-
to approve that now.
I'd recommend we table both of them, bring them both back
Okay.
where they're clean, and then we go from there.
All right, is that your motion?
That's my motion.
Second.
Okay, let's vote. Dr. Kirk?
Aye.
Ms. Grant?
Aye.
Ms. Schultz?
Aye.
Dr. Daniel?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cross.
You.
Okay, item 7. Is that right? Okay. Ms. Woodard?
President Standridge, Dr. Cobb, members of the board. I am requesting a revision to policy D20, our federal program policy. This is truly just a couple of housekeeping items to update some, I lost the word all of a sudden, job title. And then it also repeats our purchasing levels of when you need to get a quote, when something needs to get to bid, go to bid. It mirrors what's in D5, so it's just updating, so those
I
two
saw that
things
one.
are the same.
Move to approve.
Second.
Yeah, I thought we changed from superintendent, assistant to the executive director, those job titles.
Correct.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Okay, let's vote. Ms. Schultz?
Aye.
Dr. Kirk?
Aye.
Dr. Daniels?
Aye.
And Ms. Grant? Aye. And the chair votes aye. Okay, item 8. Mr. Collier?
President Standridge, members of the board, Dr. Cobb, after we just changed the schedule, I'm asking for approval to change Midwest City's homecoming day from that
Good.
Thursday, the 25th, to now Friday, the 26th.
Because it's not with the calendar.
Yeah.
Move to approve.
Second. Any discussion? Okay, let's vote. Dr. Daniel?
Aye.
Ms. Schultz?
Aye.
Ms. Grant? Aye. Dr. Kirk?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Okay, item 9.
Yes, I'm asking for approval. We do this every year. We're not all in the same district in sports, and sometimes we're on the east side, sometimes we're on the west side. Playoffs in sports like wrestling, and some of our spring sports, we could get put on the east side for regionals. So that could happen on a Monday when you turn around and play on a Wednesday or Thursday. So we sometimes don't meet that 2-month approval
All right.
from you guys when it comes to travel during postseason. So this is just for postseason OSSA sports. We're asking for approval for that overnight travel.
Move to approve.
Second.
But I do have a question. Where we say all, I know there are 14 sports OSSA, and they have 4 academic, music, that. So when we say all, do we need to put sports in there? Because when I think there are total 18 of OSSAA that they have, do we need to identify, just say sports for postseason? That's just the thought, because I know they're, when I see OSSA, I think about everything. I think about speech and debate, I think of everything. When we say all there, that would include all. So I could go either way, I really could. Just
No,
a thought I had.
that's up to you.
Okay.
I mean, we can bring this back.
No, we don't have to. We just
I
put it all
I think,
sports.
I think it says all OSSA postseason overnight trips. I mean, I think that covers.
But you have, for academic teams, sometimes they go, like when they come here over to Rose State, that's an overnight.
Right.
That's an OSSAA.
So I think what you're proposing
you're
is
saying
that we
you're
blanket
Yeah,
approve them
just make it-
today and not
For,
have to.
you're saying for all activities,
We
not
say
just
all right.
OSSAA activities.
Right,
Okay,
right. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
So the question is,
I
what's
wasn't tracking
the
that.
difference? The question is, you're worried about the 2-month window, and if something
Yes.
comes up within that window, we might
We're
miss.
having to come back for a confirmation.
No, that's not an
Right.
issue. I agree with that.
So the question is with this policy is, do we foresee those being treated differently, right? Or
I'm not saying that at all.
She's just
I'm
saying.
saying that.
Remember, those competitions don't always have a regional.
That's right.
She's pointing out
And then
that
a state.
there are some activities that
Some
are
do.
not OSSAA sanctioned, so
No, I
we
get
just don't
that
need the
part.
word OSSAA in the agenda item, is what you're saying, right,
That's
Andy?
exactly right.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
I
what do you
get that,
guys
but I'm
think?
just wondering if it makes his life easier if we blanket approve them all, right? If we don't, or if we see any
that would-
issue with if those come up.
So can we say to approve it without OSSAA?
yes.
Yeah, I think that solves the problem.
Let's just strike
That
that.
covers it completely.
That's fine.
Okay, so if somebody will make a motion to strike that,
She's saying put
Oh,
sports.
yeah,
that worded.
that's
that-
right. Yes.
Can
It's
I
right
do the
there.
motion?
Sure, you can do it. You can do your own motion, dear.
So you're saying take out OSSA so it covers everything?
So it
So it covers
all-
everything.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was like, no,
Yes.
she's trying to get rid
I
of
thought
it.
it was the opposite. You were
No,
focused on
no.
Okay, I'm good now.
You know,
Okay,
we
so
can-
I'll make a
Trying to make your life
motion.
easier,
Thank
which I think she was too.
I'll make a motion to approve item 9 without the wording or the acronym OSSAA.
Second.
Second.
Okay, let's vote. Dr. Kirk?
Aye.
Ms. Grant? Aye. Ms. Schultz?
Aye.
Dr. Daniel?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Okay, item 10.
Thank you so much. This is another one.
President Sandridge, members of the board, and Dr. Cobb, I would like to request your approval of Jet Strobel, a foreign exchange student from Germany, to be accepted and enrolled in Dell City High School for the 2025-2026 academic school year. She's 16 years old and has completed all the requirements of Regulation J18 R2A with the exception of the J1 visa, which she will apply for upon your approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, let's,
Whenever we have
It's a
a
principal.
exchange student candidate, that we have to bring that to the board. Is that?
So we had a conversation about that yesterday, Dr. Broyles and Ms. Gilkey and I did, and I think the board policy on it could be clearer. I think that it has been our practice to bring it to the board, at least since I've been here, but the board, and we've denied several that hadn't gone through all the steps. And we've even had their potential host families come and speak and plead with us at the board meeting, but they hadn't followed all the steps, and they're working with companies that actually know what steps have to be followed. So, this is one that has done all the things that are required.
And I don't do anything without talking to the head principals, so Mr. Gill and I already knew about that, so we talked about it.
I kind of thought that the principals used to.
Yeah.
I always have a
to
discussion
do
with them
that.
about it.
I thought we
have the
didn't-
space.
Because I had asked you why we were voting, because I thought the principals looked at all of that,
Years
made
ago, there
sure,
was a
and.
principal.
I can say too, even being, because I was over that portion with Rotary as far as sending and receiving students, and we did still have to fill out information. I didn't have to show up in front of any boards, but anytime I brought a kid in from, Lord, I forgot where she was from, but there was paperwork that had to go before the board for approval after getting permission from the school. So it was a whole process that literally took 4 months just to get a student in.
Okay, so did we meet all the criteria in the checklist and
Yes,
everything?
I can't bring it to you until I go through that whole process.
Just a J1 visa,
Mhm.
and she'll do that after she hears from us. Okay.
Oh, okay, so you go through the process after you get approval?
No, she's met all of the
She's met all the
guidelines. She just
requirements.
needs to get the J1 visa.
Okay, so that was my question, is did we go through the, okay.
This is the last step before
That's
the
it,
student
before
gets
she
the
can-
J1 visa.
Yeah.
I misinterpreted what you said. I thought you said, we're gonna do that after you get approval.
Okay, let's vote. Ms. Grant?
Aye.
Dr. Daniel?
Aye.
Dr. Kirk?
Aye.
Ms. Schultz?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Okay,
Thank you.
item
Thank you,
11.
dear.
Ms. Brown?
President Standridge, members of the board, Dr. Cobb, I am requesting your approval of policy I-30 to remain compliant with non-regulatory guidance from the United States Department of Education.
Sorry.
You can't-
Please forgive me.
It's fine, it's fine.
Okay, motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, can you make that statement again? I missed it, but it sounded like you
It's
said
great.
something
You mean, do-
contradictory or what was
No, I didn't. I was just
Just
reading the thing and
There was a gasp
It was
over
silly.
here.
Oh, okay.
No, okay, there's a lot of words usually with anything federal, and it is for us to remain compliant with non-regulatory guidance from the United States Department of Education.
Okay. Just to remain.
Need a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions?
We have to do it.
Okay, let's vote. Dr. Daniel?
Aye.
Ms. Schultz?
Aye.
Dr. Kirk?
Aye.
Ms. Grant?
Aye.
The chair votes aye.
Awesome. Okay, the next one, do you want to, are you
No,
reading it?
go
You're
right
go-
ahead.
okay,
Item
I will.
12.
No, okay. I'm requesting your approval to continue to support the embedded PLC coaching process at Epperly and Parkview. This is coaching that they've had, and they're bringing their coach back.
Excellent. Good
Yeah,
job.
great.
Move to approve.
Second.
Questions?
It's a
Okay.
good deal.
Schultz?
Aye.
Dr. Kirk?
Aye.
Ms. Grant?
Aye.
Dr. Daniel?
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Thank you.
Okay, item 13. Mr. Wolf?
Evening.
President Standridge, member of the board, Dr. Cobb. For item 13, I'd like your approval to fund Townsend, our new elementary school.
Can't wait.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We finally got all of our construction bids in. There's our total amounts there for pre-construction total, GMP total, and the design architect totals. Brings our grand total on that project to $34,670,077.11. Can't forget the 11 cents, that's important.
Yeah.
Give or
Move to
take.
approve.
Second.
We're gonna hold you to that 11.
Are we at budget, under budget, over budget? Where are we at?
We're trying to remember how
We're
much
slightly
is
under
allocated.
budget.
Yeah, I think we're
We
just a
were,
little-
about a month ago, we were concerned
3
about
million
being over.
Yeah.
And we've worked it to get under budget.
All right.
Okay, good job.
Kudos.
Nice.
Excellent. Good
Okay,
job.
Dr. Daniel?
Aye.
Ms. Schultz?
Aye.
Dr. Kirk?
Aye.
Ms. Grant?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Okay, item 15A.
So this item is for our 3 high school baseball fields. This is for turf only. We had originally looked at doing some construction on the infrastructure, the concessions and bathrooms and that sort. We've decided to withdraw that. We're going to reconsider that and reconfigure those requirements on that. So this information right here, this request is just for the turf on the 3 fields. Dell City's going to stay, all 3 baseball fields are going to stay in their current locations.
Okay.
And we will be managing these projects in-house.
Good
So
job.
we won't be doing
Okay,
these.
this is actually 14. I said 15A, so just to clarify that.
My apologies.
Okay. The number.
Yeah, just
Okay.
the number there. Okay, need a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, any questions?
None.
Okay, let's vote. Dr. Daniel?
Aye.
Ms. Schultz?
Aye.
Dr. Kirk?
Aye.
Ms. Grant?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Now we have 15A.
So the button is popping up to vote on here when it's open.
When the items
I
open.
asked. I
That's what
said
it
maybe
does.
it doesn't come up till,
So,
now we know. We'll practice it though. Practice makes perfect.
It does.
President Standridge, members of the board, and Dr. Cobb, the first item I bring is our normal recommendations to hire, resignations, and all of that fun stuff.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Where are we in terms of bringing in new,
We
hiring new?
still have openings, of course. I posted several jobs on OSSBA website today to try to get those pumped back up to the top so that we would have perhaps some more candidates. So still looking.
I know. Do we find more vacancies at the secondary versus elementary?
You know, I didn't look at it that direction. It does seem, though, when I was posting, that I was posting more for the middle school and high school.
Okay, that's
But
what
I
I
mean,
would
they
think.
have more
Because I think I saw 10 pop up today.
Yeah, I would think that.
today on the district website.
On that OSS.
Oh, okay.
You know, I think I
Yeah.
saw them pop. I get an alert.
Oh, okay, good. I didn't know that, but yeah.
I think
just-
I got an alert on
So
that.
on those, you'll notice that some of them are generic, like
Yeah.
trying to keep them open so that they can, multiple people can apply, but we'll
do
see.
you feel like you're getting candidates that just aren't qualified, or they're just not applying for them at all?
Well, unfortunately, some of the positions, and that's how I determined which ones to post today. I sorted them by the date that they were initially posted and then the number of applicants they have.
Okay.
And so the jobs that had 0 applicants, I posted those first and then just made my way down. Some of them are not qualified. A few of them are still under contract in another district.
Okay.
And that district may not release them, and so that would be a gamble we would be taking.
Gotcha.
And so we have to work through those carefully. But
Thank you.
it's getting there. Fingers crossed, every day.
Every day. Okay, let's vote. Dr. Kirk?
Aye.
Ms. Grant?
Aye.
Ms. Schultz?
Aye.
Dr. Daniel?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay, item 15B.
This is for our staff stipends that are administrative and not covered by the negotiated agreement.
Move to approve.
Second.
Questions?
I do. And it's just been a pet peeve of mine for years.
Uh-oh.
When a person with a doctorate only gets that amount, and that's going to the highest level he or she can go, and we have several classroom teachers that do have doctorates, that just concerns me, that amount.
Which one are you talking about? I'm sorry.
Is it on that one? Maybe, am I on the wrong one for the doctorate?
Staff stipends.
The staff
The one that had
stipends.
The D.
Is it on there? I don't have it in
It was
front
on
me.
one
I
of
just-
them,
I
'cause
just
I
remember
just-
reading that, and it just bothered me.
So that is in addition to when they get all of their regular salary, and then they have an additional $1,000 a year.
I know exactly what it is.
Is that correct? So you're thinking we need to look at increasing
I
that?
do, that's the lowest level there, and I think that you've gone the extra mile, and this is where they are.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's,
So are these, so are they in roles that allow them to exercise their academic standing?
no, they,
So are they
Also, a
Well, they're
teacher,
teachers.
there's a separate teacher salary scale for doctorate.
Yes.
They get
I know, but that's, I know that.
This-
In addition to that, that's above and beyond, that is what I'm saying.
So this is more for, for example, Dr. Kavner, Stephanie Kavner. She gets the additional amount because she's not in the negotiated agreement. She has her own salary schedule. That it doesn't,
I know, trust me.
you don't have to have the doctorate to do
Right,
that. So I just want to make sure I'm under, are you saying that we
I'm
need to
saying-
look
I'm
at making that more?
She's saying it's low.
I say
Yeah.
so.
1,000
I know
is low.
everything we're saying here,
Yes.
but I still think that that's low.
So wait, the question is, are they on a salary scale commensurate with their education? Or are we talking, every year they get a stipend?
No, they
based
just,
on
it's just that stipend.
performance?
She's saying the
They've been getting that
stipend seems
stipend
low
for
to have a
years.
doctorate.
It's been the same for years and years. There's been no movement there at all.
So even
Are
though they're
they,
on a separate.
but are they on a salary scale?
They are,
commensurate
they
with
are,
their
they are,
education?
they
So
are,
they are
they are.
getting compensated for the degree.
Well, everyone is.
And on top of that, we're saying, we think they should get a stipend.
Well, they do get a
above-
stipend, but it's
So
minutia.
Dr. Daniel, yes and no. When a
It's
person,
travel.
for example, we have an elementary principal salary schedule. To be an elementary principal or middle school or high school, it doesn't matter. To be a principal, you have to have a master's degree. You don't have to have a doctorate, but
Okay.
you do have to have a master's.
Okay.
If you also have a doctorate, you're on that same salary schedule, and in addition to that, you get an added $1,000 because you have an education beyond what's required.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So it sounds like what she's saying is maybe it needs to be more than $1,000.
That's
I don't have my
exactly-
doctorate, but I would agree.
That's
I think
exactly
that
what
that's
it
a
is
lot.
I'm saying. I'm saying exactly that.
It's expensive,
and I feel-
and I agree.
And it's just my own pet peeve, so you can take it as
So when
such.
I make statements and ask questions, I'm gathering information.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
So I'm not attacking you, or I'm not,
I didn't
I'm
take
not,
it
I'm
that
not saying
way
that.
at all.
I'm looking at your judgment or what. I'm just trying to figure
Shots
out where we are
fired.
and if we're fair.
It's
So-
just like, say we have, now it's left me,
get it.
those
I'm just trying to
teachers that go over and above and we pay them, what, 5,000 a year from the state? What is that?
National board.
Yes, National Board.
National board.
To me, I would think a doctorate is equivalent to that.
And I'm not saying that at all. I
You know what I
simply
mean?
say-
Yeah.
I would say that's equivalent to that, and they're getting, now, of course, does the state pay that? Or do we pay that?
We pay that.
That extra 5,000 a year
National
because they're
board.
national board certified?
That would be a Miss Woodard question, how they
We pay it.
calculate
We
that.
pay it?
Saying.
So,
we
I
better
mean,
watch.
and
Okay, so let me break
So
this-
initially, the
let me
state
get-
did
let me
pay that,
gather-
but-
Let me gather more information. So you said they're on a different salary scale based on their education. And what it sounded like you said was they were on a scale equivalent to master's degree, or they were lumped in with master degree at the principal level scale. Is that
you
not-
have to have
In
a
that
master's.
specific
have to
case,
have-
yes.
So in that case, they are getting something equivalent to a master's degree because they have a
Yes.
doctorate.
Plus
Yes.
1,000.
And then they're getting 1,000 because they
They're a
have a
doctorate.
PhD. Now, do the master's level get the stipend as well? And is it the same amount?
So it depends on which one you're talking about. If we're talking about administrators, they're on a separate salary schedule, and so they have to have the master's to be on that, to be in the position to be on that. If we did teachers, a classroom teacher, they have to have a bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
If they get a bachelor's plus 20 more hours, 15 or 20 more hours, they make more money on that salary schedule.
Okay.
Once they hit a master's, they make more money on that, they move to that salary schedule.
Okay.
More hours, another salary schedule, and then a doctorate, a teacher would be on a doctorate salary schedule. So they don't get the $1,000 stipend.
But they're
It's
on
only the people who have gone above and beyond, and there's not a schedule for them.
Okay.
I hope I'm
And
explaining
she's
this
saying a
correctly.
doctorate would be above and beyond, and
That's just a discussion.
You know,
I would
and
throw
she-
out there.
Yeah,
We don't have
I
to
love
debate
it.
this at
We
all.
could-
We can look at it.
But we could also get you a number of employees that would impact.
I think
it's only
brought up
4
some
or
of them.
5, isn't it? We
It's
don't
not that
have
many at all.
We
Not
don't
that
have
many.
that
We have
many.
teachers that are on the doctorate scale, on the teacher salary schedule.
I think maybe
But in
5.
terms of other employees who are not in the classroom that have doctorates, it's probably somewhere between 5 and 10,
So
if I was
that's
guessing.
fine.
What scale are they on?
It depends on what
they
their
are.
role is.
Are they on the
If they're
doctorate scale?
teachers, no.
They're on the scale that goes along with their job.
Right.
So a principal, assistant principal, executive director, and so on, superintendent.
Teachers, it's
They
very
could potentially
specific.
be on a schedule that is not a doctorate
Right.
schedule.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is to Dr.
The
Kirk's point.
principal salary schedule does not speak to degrees earned. You have to at least have a master's degree to get a principal certificate, but it does not speak to the number of degrees earned. The only salary schedules that have lanes that are stratified by degree are the teacher salary schedule,
Right.
and that's specified by law.
Okay,
can't
so
alter.
do we need another scale for doctorates that are in?
There's
in
there's
that
not
lane?
that,
There's
there's not that many.
There's not that
Not
many.
yet.
I like that we have,
Well, if I got my PhD, I don't care how many, I just know that
Sure.
That's my.
I'm on a
And
scale
that's-
that's not
And
equivalent
that's
to my
why the,
education.
that's why the
So-
stipend, so.
Okay.
But it's only
not new. It's
1,000
only
is what she was
$1,000.
saying, it's
That's
too
what
low.
she's saying.
Okay, so when we look at the scale for the teacher scale and the jump from a master's to a PhD, is that equivalent to the 1,000?
No.
Or is it more? Or is it
It would
less?
be less.
would be
I
less.
believe, and I'm going to probably say this wrong, but I believe the step moving from a bachelor's as a teacher to a master's is not $1,000. I want to.
And a master's
From
to
a
a
master's
doctorate
to a doctorate.
Is not
not
$1,000.
$1,000.
Not that I know of. Lori may be able to speak more to that.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
But see, it would be even
You know what,
EDDs would be there with PhDs. So,
I can gather some data for you and get that. I can give you I'll send you the salary schedules or break it down.
Yeah,
There's
so
no
I'm
problem.
I'm reacting to Dr. Kirk, right? She's saying,
In addition to what I.
of course,
The
she's
1,000
got
is
the
too
doctorate
low.
while she was an administrator, right? And so,
And it's not about
And
me,
I'm
trust me, guys, I'm here
reacting-
forever. I'm old.
can
I'm
I finish?
simply
Let me
saying.
just finish, because I'm on your side. Let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm reacting to you saying that maybe that's not the right amount for your academic, you know, so what you've done academically. So I'm just trying to get a way of what's fair. You know, is that
So
fair?
maybe
Is it
next
not
year
fair?
We can look at
So if we
this.
get the information, then we can say, well, maybe we do need to bump that stipend, or maybe the stipend is okay.
on step,
Maybe we need a new scale that has that incorporated in
I'm
there.
all
So-
for it. I'm all
on,
for it.
on step 0 of the teacher salary schedule, I just looked it up. It's $1,000 difference between master and doctorate. I didn't look at step 10, step 15, step 30, and so on. I'm just saying for reference, that's
for-
$1,000 on the teacher salary
So for a
schedule
classroom teacher to go from having a master's
to having a
to having a
doctorate.
doctorate, it's exactly $1,000 more?
It's
It
exactly
probably
1,000.
increases as
So
you
now
go
the
down.
reaction is, okay, we know that those steps are the same, they have a stipend.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe someone thought, okay, well, we need to go ahead and add a stipend because they're not on a graduated schedule like the teachers. And so now I guess the question is,
At step
is
20,
that
it's
enough?
about a $2,200
I
difference.
checked
Now the
with other
question is that
districts.
enough? Because you're saying it may not be. So we would have to evaluate it at that level.
I just think, I'm just
So we
asking us
want
to
to do
look
like
at
a
it.
$10,000 stipend?
5.
Just now?
No, I'm saying just look
Ms.
at it.
Kavanaugh's out there nodding.
And I would encourage you to see what other districts do. Just look at that.
I will be
Let's look at
happy
other
to
Look at
do
other
that.
districts.
So now we
Yes,
can go
ma'am.
by
It would be
facts and
nice
not
to
just the
reward them.
feeling of,
Absolutely.
"Oh, I don't
Or
think that's
over and
enough."
above. And that would be EDDs
You know what I mean?
Everything.
With PhDs, myself, I know.
We just, yeah, it's not a number that we've reconsidered in recent years, so.
I think as public educators, we all agree that we all are
mean, they're
worth
never gonna
more.
get paid
So I
enough
think
to
we-
pay for that PhD.
So I think one of the things we have to look at with this are we being competitive, right? Someone comes into the district, and we offer them a position at a certain scale with a stipend, are we being competitive? So by comparing
Sure,
other
we can look at
districts,
that.
it will say, hey, is that
That's what I told
1,000
us to
still
look at.
relevant today, or was that an 80s number?
Go look at other districts in the
And
state
we
of
can see if we're
Oklahoma.
competitive and if we have to go over and above what our competitors are so we can attract the best
'Cause
and
there's not that
retain the
many of
best
them.
talent.
Right, right.
So
Because
that's where I'm
really,
headed with
you
it.
would want to keep a very good classroom teacher
Sure.
in the classroom.
What an incentive.
But it's what the market
We just
can-
have to keep in mind that
But it's with
even if we
anything,
make
right?
this-
It's what the market can hold.
Sure.
And what the value and what you're worth, right?
What
So
the
we need to be
district has
comparing
that's
apples to
available.
apples to see what is competitive so that we can retain and attract the best
Absolutely.
talent. So
What were you saying?
I didn't mean to
I'll leave-
spark
I'll
all
leave
that
from there.
discussion.
No,
I'd
this
like
is
to
a-
do that with
this is a
all of our
great
salary
discussion.
schedules.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I would love to pay our teachers what
I would too. I
other
would too. What
districts
they
are
want,
making, not
teachers
whether
also.
they have a doctorate or a bachelor's or, I mean, all of the things.
Well, I mean,
We would
I think
too.
it's a good desire to want to just,
Mm-hmm.
pay the going rate and the highest rate. But when we talk about retention and are we attracting teachers, we also have to look at what does the market bear and are we competitive? And our expectations have to flow from that. So if we say, hey, we can't afford what the market can bear, then we have to know going in that we're not going to attract X number of folks. And then we have to look at other ways in order to retain. So it's just a data point.
Sure. I will gather
Just
some
look at it
info
here.
for sure.
Maybe
Yeah.
for next year.
Next year. Wishful
Okay, let's
thinking.
vote. Dr. Daniel,
Aye.
Ms. Grant,
Aye.
Dr. Kirk,
Aye.
and Ms. Schultz.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Thank you, Ms. Houston.
Okay, 15C.
These are stipends as well,
But they're for travel.
but they're for travel.
for travel.
It doesn't
There's a
matter if you have a
difference.
doctorate
Travel
or it
stipend. They're for
doesn't
travel.
matter.
I'm
Yes,
okay
ma'am.
with that.
So these are employees who travel throughout the district. This isn't for travel like
Right.
for professional development. This is whoever goes out, when Mr. Wolf goes out to check heating and air, whatever he's out doing, traveling around the district. When Megan has to go and visit different sites, anyone who has to go out and about in the sites, if I go, it's just to take care of some of the gas money that's involved.
Right.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, let's vote. Dr. Kirk?
Aye.
Dr. Daniel?
Aye.
Ms. Schultz?
Aye.
Ms. Grant?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. 15D.
Okay. This would be my favorite part. This is where I get to make recommendations for new employees to join our district. Our first recommendation is for a mental health specialist, Rico Childs. Rico is a licensed professional counselor. He was born and raised in Oklahoma City and worked in the child care field for over 12 years. He received his bachelor's degree in business management with a minor in early childhood development from Langston University. In 2017, Rico returned to Langston University to complete his master's degree in rehabilitation counseling, visual rehabilitation. Rico has worked in the counseling field for 6 years and loves every moment, with a passion for leading young people to their goals and doing his part to make the world a better place. In his spare time, Rico runs a nonprofit basketball organization called
right.
Ball Out Elite.
I love it.
God has blessed him with a beautiful wife and 4 children. His life is devoted to serving God, his family, and all the kids he comes in contact with. When I called Rico today to discuss with him salary schedules and benefits and all of the things, he came with an energy just over the phone that made me so excited to meet him today. And so that would be our recommendation for one of our 3 mental health specialist positions.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, look at him grinning, guys.
We still gotta vote.
Don't grin yet, Rico. They haven't voted.
Okay, let's vote. Ms. Grant?
Aye.
Dr. Daniel?
Aye.
Ms. Schultz?
Aye.
Kirk?
Yay, verily.
Chair votes aye.
L's up. Look, L's up.
We're expecting great things from you.
He will be
Yes,
awesome.
that's right.
I can assure you he'll be awesome.
Our next recommendation for a mental health specialist is Ashley Wilson. Ashley is a licensed clinical social worker with 7 years of experience supporting children and families. She completed her bachelor's degree in psychology and social work at Texas Tech University. Ashley went on to complete her master's in social work at the University of Oklahoma. She is passionate about creating a safe and empowering space where growth and healing can flourish. Her background spans partial hospitalization and outpatient mental health services, always grounded in compassion and connection. Outside of work, Ashley enjoys hiking, Pilates, and spending time at the dog park with her rescue pup, Effie. Our recommendation is Ashley Wilson.
Move to approve.
Second.
There's Ashley. There she is.
Sorry. She couldn't find her, and
Find us. Where is
that's
she?
one of her
We
kids.
will let her stand up as soon as we vote.
Okay, let's vote. Ms. Schultz?
Aye.
Dr. Kirk?
Yay, verily.
Ms. Grant? Aye. Dr. Daniel?
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
All right, Ms.
Ashley,
Wilson.
stand up. Okay, 15F.
Our final recommendation for mental health specialist is Katie Boateng. Katie is a licensed clinical social worker and proud graduate of the Middale School District. She earned her Associate of Arts degree from Rose State College and subsequently completed both her bachelor's and master's degrees in social work at the University of Oklahoma. Katie has several years of experience working in school settings and is passionate about helping students feel supported, understood, and empowered. She is dedicated to fostering strong, collaborative relationships with students, families, and staff to promote overall well-being and academic success. Outside of work, Katie enjoys spending time with her husband and traveling together whenever they can. She is proud to serve the Middale community and looks forward to giving back to the district that helped shape her. Katie Boateng.
Move to approve.
Second.
The vote.
Okay, need a second.
Second.
We did.
Someone
Second.
Second, she did.
Okay, Dr. Daniel?
Aye.
Ms. Schultz?
Aye.
Ms. Grant? Aye. Dr. Kirk?
Yay, verily.
And the chair votes aye. Welcome aboard.
Katie. Did
We're
we do
so
it?
excited to have you
This
guys.
is great.
Yeah, no, I hope
It
you guys.
doesn't show it all, does
Energy
it?
that we're excited, that.
This is great. This is great.
I mean, we are really excited to get this going.
This is great.
Okay, 15G.
Okay, our final recommendation this evening is for an assistant principal to be assigned to Tinker Elementary. Dorothy Mosley. Dorothy is a dedicated Oklahoma educator with over 20 years of experience in public education, including 19 years in school leadership. She began her educational journey as a student in Middale schools, attending Eastside Elementary and Sooner Rose Elementary. Her classroom experience spans from teaching kindergarten to high school freshman English, and she also served as an adjunct professor of English Comp 2 at Rose State College. Since 2006, Dorothy has held leadership roles as both assistant principal and principal in the Choctaw-Nakoma Park School District, and most recently in Eufaula Public Schools. She is excited to bring her passion for fostering a love of learning, building strong relationships, and partnering with families and communities to support student success at Tinker Elementary. She and her husband David enjoy traveling, appreciating nature, spoiling their dog Bella, and creating memories with their family. Dorothy Mosley.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions? Let's vote. Ms. Grant? Aye. Dr. Kirk?
Yay, verily.
Dr. Daniel?
Aye.
Ms. Schultz?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye.
Congratulations.
Excellent.
You're leaving the lake, though.
You know what, God gave us an opportunity to see if that's where we wanted to move to permanently, and
That's great.
we took that step of faith, but
You're back.
Hey,
we
you
realized
had,
we wanted to change.
You follow.
She's only 3 hours away.
you,
That's where we were like, but good things.
You can always go back.
you had me at hello, so you,
He's so
we
good.
appreciate you coming here, and we appreciate all of you guys, so. Welcome to the
Sure do.
Middale family.
Yes.
It's big and wide.
Yes.
Amen.
Okay, item 16. Okay, you need a motion to,
Move to go into executive session.
Second.
okay, Dr. Daniel,
Aye.
Ms. Grant,
Aye.
Ms. Schultz,
Aye.
Dr. Kirk,
Aye.
chair votes aye. Okay, let the record reflect that the board returned to open session at 7:30.
8:35.
Oh my, 8:35. Okay, those in attendance in executive session were Dr. Kirk, Dr. Daniel, Ms. Schultz, Ms. Grant, Dr. Cobb, Dr. Broyles, Ms. Gilkey,
Yourself.
and myself, representatives of student A and B, and myself. Okay, during executive session, we discussed the following. Denied student transfer appeals with the review of confidential records of student whereby disclosure of any additional information could potentially violate FERPA. The executive session was requested by the parent or student in accordance with 25 OC Section 307, B7. No matters were discussed, no votes were taken during executive session. Okay, item 17.
Members of the board, I make a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation to deny the transfer of student A.
Second.
Okay, let's vote. Dr. Kirk?
Aye.
Ms. Schultz?
Aye.
Ms. Grant?
Aye.
Dr. Daniel?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye.
President Standridge, members of the board, I make a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation to deny the transfer of student B.
Second.
Okay, let's vote. Dr. Kirk?
Aye.
Ms. Schultz?
Aye.
Ms. Grant?
Aye.
Dr. Daniel?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Item 18, no new business.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Ms. Grant?
Aye.
Dr. Kirk?
Aye.
Dr. Daniel?
Aye.
Ms. Schultz? And the chair votes aye.